Avoid mistakes, and if they happen, correct them. So, what are mistakes? Well, number one could be simple input errors. Um, we often see a parent will accidentally hit an extra digit that makes their asset appear to be worth a lot more than it's really worth. And as a result, their expected family contribution jumps up. Let me go back. Another thing that can happen in terms of input errors, a family might make a mistake on inputting their kid's social security number, the driver's license number. And if that happens and the system can't match them up, the FAFSA doesn't get processed. And if that happens, then effectively colleges or the financial aid officers in those colleges will pull the information from the FAFSA. They'll see that you didn't effectively process your FAFSA, and they'll just assume that you are willing to pay the full price. And those families generally would not even be considered for financial aid, even if they would have qualified. So an input error can be a simple thing that can have dramatic impact on the outcome. The second type of errors that commonly occur are from the IRS. So when you're completing the financial aid form, you're going to report your assets. And like I said, you discount them, but you look at your statements. It's a self-reporting exercise. And then the FAFSA will also link to your tax return directly from the IRS, and they're going to download your income data from the 2 years prior. And this happens behind the scenes automatically. And they don't show you, or they don't display what value they're actually pulling. So that's done for your security, right? So unfortunately, if the data that got downloaded from the IRS was incorrect, then again, it's going to increase the amount that you're going to be expected to pay. And a lot of families won't know that that happened until after they get their financial aid offer sometime in April. And the way that you want to catch those errors is this. It's really simple to do, and most families miss it. After you submit your FAFSA, wait about 5, maybe 7 days. Then go back and log in again, as if you were logging into the FAFSA, right? And look for something called the Student Aid Report. And often it's abbreviated as SAR. The Student Aid Report has 2 very valuable pieces of information. Number one, at the very top of that report, there's going to be a long rectangle. And in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see an acronym, EFC. Next to it will be a string of numbers. Now, there's no dollar sign, and so that's why most parents will miss it. But that string of numbers is the dollar value that is being sent to all of the colleges. That is going to be the amount of your expected contribution. If that expected contribution looks higher than what you expected, or higher than you can afford, well, you probably need to look to find where the error was. And that's where the second part of the student aid report comes in handy, because below that rectangle will be all the FAFSA questions and all of your answers clearly laid out, one on top of another. So go through each one and see if you may have spotted an error. Now, if it's an error that you can catch, well, you want to fix it. And if it's either incomplete and the FAFSA didn't get processed, you can easily amend your FAFSA and correct those mistakes. It's very, very simple to do. And within literally a day or two, that expected family contribution number will be recalculated, and it's going to be resent to all of the colleges with the correct figure. Now, you might also have something, let's say after you've applied or submitted the FAFSA and confirmed that everything was correct, you might have a change in circumstances. Maybe you were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Maybe somebody got sick in the family and you're taking care of another family member. Your medical costs have gone up. Maybe it's a financial change of circumstance, job loss, income reduction, moving expenses. Well, if you've already completed the FAFSA and you have some change in circumstances, at that point, you need to do something different. And that is, you got to reach out directly to the financial aid office to let them know that things have changed from the time when you submitted the FAFSA. Now, there's one other thing I want to mention. Colleges are pulling your income data. I shouldn't say colleges. The FAFSA is pulling income data from 2 years prior. So if you're applying in 2020, they're going to be looking at your 2018 tax return. What if your income has changed dramatically? Unless you tell colleges that your income is different today than it was 2 years ago, they will never know. And so you have to reach out to the financial aid office at each one of the schools to let them know that there is a change in your financial circumstances or in your family circumstances, and they will work with you to adjust the FAFSA's expected family contribution. And last but not least, you want to do this quickly. Don't wait until October, or don't wait until March, don't wait until April, don't wait until May, because of what I said earlier. Good financial aid or good money is given out on a first come, first served basis. So if you wait too long, then colleges might have given out all of the financial aid that you would want, like grants and scholarships. And the only thing that they can give you at that time would be student debt, which is the one thing we all want to avoid.